you had your interview?
I did.
Good.
I said there's three major issues.
Ribs, when you meet James
James Taylor.
James Taylor, here you go, mate.
I said there's three major issues: electricity.
Ribs has got a fabulous free enterprise magazine called Rubes Leaflet.
Rubes Flyer.
Rubes Flyer.
Roots fire.
Flyer.
Flyer.
That's right.
All the Pauline's here.
And we're going to have a meeting.
Please explain. Yeah, absolutely. Please explain.
So I presume the cost of living housing we love you!
Two of you racing together. Guys, will come in behind.
Please explain.
I hope we stop Labor from winning the seat. I really do. We cannot have more of Labor on the floor of Parliament and the Greens that are running this country. They are absolutely destroying it. And what I'm hearing now, and speaking to Sandy as well, the issues here is your cost of living, your rising cost of electricity, immigration, the congestion that's happening, you can't get in to get services. This is all Labor's policies. It's leading to it, and I see the destruction. And the biggest one that's going to hit us is misinformation, disinformation.
Absolutely.
Our rights, freedom of speech, and this is what we will be fighting against. There's other things I've been fighting for, and it's that gender dysphoria. They are so bloody minded that these kids are being, mutilated. Exactly right. They are being mutilated, and yet they won't even have a second inquiry into it. So it is child abuse to the extreme, and other countries are waking up to it, and therefore we must keep pushing to actually have some common sense prevail in our country. But without your support today, it would be extremely hard for us. But I see that One Nation is growing. We've actually won a seat in South Australia, the upper house, possibly Victoria in last elections. So hopefully, our numbers will keep growing. But without a team effort like this, it wouldn't be happening. So thank you. I feel very honoured and privileged to start this political party and see it grow over a period of time, and people that are supporting the objectives and principles that I stood for: truth and honesty, democracy, and having a voice.
Thank you. Absolutely.
And we're kind of going in this awful manner, and we really need to put a stop to this, and we need to have some good honesty and some for people who want to do something constructive, So we have a lot of generations that we need to talk to.
A lot of migrants that come to the country actually do support One Nation policies, because I say I welcome people from other countries, and as long as you get this country, you're undivided world, and there's no problem with it. But countries, people just feel they're disenfranchised from this country. They just don't understand what's happening. They've left other countries to come here for that, that way of life, and yet they see this country changing to the country that they left. So that's for freedom, migrants. Yes, it is.
Care for freedom, and
Absolutely.
because we know what has happened in the past.
We're good to go. You happy with that planning? Do you want to just start off with something?
It's going to be a very interesting by-election, and I hope it doesn't go like the other ones in Victoria. But it's very important that we start Labor on the seat. I've seen the damage they do to this country in the full Parliament, and I just feel that they are not really listening to the people and the issues that are concerning them, with the cost of living, rising cost of electricity, high immigration that bring into the country to prop up their productivity, and that's not the way to go with it. And Albanese, all he's interested in is the voice. He's not listening to the concerns of the Australian people. So therefore, we're making our stance today, giving people an alternative vote for other than the two major political parties. And it's a packed field, I can see that. Some are stooges for the other political parties, especially the Labor parties, but they've got a couple of stooges standing there. But I'm proud of Sandy Rowe standing for us in this election. So yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Cool. So as you just mentioned, would you say it's anyone but Labor for this election today, or?
Look, it'll come down to the two major political parties. You know, one nation. I think that we'll do quite well here. I'm not being. I'd love to say that we're going to win.
Yeah, but you know, realistically, yeah, it's going to be an interesting time at the polls tomorrow night.
Yeah, look, I think that we'll prove the point today that our vote is holding, if not increasing in our vote, because people are sick of major political parties, and I think that's what it's all about. And no, we're here to win, but I've been in politics for nearly 30 years, so I'm realistic as well. But it shows the people that they can vote for someone other than major political parties. If you look at the last election, major political parties only picked up 33% of the vote, and the independents picked up 33%. So it really comes down to the people's bank.
A vote for the Citizens Party is a vote for a post office bank.
That's a bit mean.
Vote for the Citizens Party is a vote for no wall in China,
Fly.
no AUKUS.
Excuse me, that's a bit
Where's it flying?
It's not live. We're just cutting it out.
Still touching the people's bank. That's one party.
Perfect timing from them.
that's willful, man.
How do they know? Edit it out.
I think our Prime Minister has travelled around the world quite enough. It's about time to stay at home and start listening to the real issues. That's the cost of living. I grew up basically, this was second home to me, just down the street.
That is so rude.
There for 50 years. So I'm quite familiar with the coast, and I've got family on the Gold Coast, but I've seen it's grown in the proportions that it has. High immigration is not helping the coast and standard of living on the Gold Coast. And I know it's a tourist destination by all means, but unless the government pulls back on the high immigration into the country, it is going to have a huge impact, and especially housing.
And so, yeah. 13 candidates are up for by-election, the most ever seen in a Queensland by-election. Is that a sign of the times? Are they fed up with the two major parties, do you believe?
I think it is a sign of the times because people are taking advantage, as I said in the last election, with 33% of people voted for independents or minor political parties. So the people are fed up with the major political parties. They're so closely aligned in their policies that people want change. And they feel that they've been ignored. They're not being listened to. And if you look at the Albanese policy now, disinformation bill, it's taken away freedom of information from those people and will affect minor political parties. But I'm not going to let the Libs off the hook because they actually ran the same bill last year themselves. It's now passed legislation in the later half of last year. So they're both closely aligned, and that makes people angry.
Right. So you were talking a lot about making sure Labor don't win this seat.
That's right.
It's traditionally been a very, very safe LNP seat. Are you finding there's a mood among the electorate for change, and you're concerned that that might actually happen?
I hear what you're saying, but it is a safe Liberal seat, and actually we have indicated direct our preferences to the Liberal Party. I've seen the damage that the Labor Party has done on the floor of Parliament for the last just over a year, and I don't want more of Labor and the Greens, controlled by the Greens as well, and dormant Dave Pocock, who's the controlling vote from the ACT, which I think is so, you know, that I can see it going to communism, socialism. That's what this government's all about.
How concerned are you about voter turnout, Pauline? We're seeing very low pre-polling numbers already, about 30% down on this time in the federal election last year. What could that mean?
Well, it could mean that they're not in a hurry to actually get rid of the Liberal Party out of their seat, and that's what it could mean. They're not really rushing in to change the seat here. That's what it would explain to me. Tomorrow's the day. We'll see what happens on election day.
All good. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.